You know, like most of us, I don't just drink whiskey. Uh, Especially in the summers, I really enjoy a nice cold beer. Sometimes I even enjoy cold beer from Griffin Claw Distilling, which actually they make quite a few different whiskeys. Today we're going to talk about one. Hit that intro. Hey guys, welcome back to T-Rod Whiskey. I am T-Rod, your host. When it's hotter out, like to reach for a beer, not always a whiskey if it's super hot out. Um, One of my favorite brands to reach for, though, is Griffin Claw Distilling. Specifically, their Mr. Blue Sky. I don't know exactly what about it I like. It's this wheat beer that's got like grapefruity kind of notes. It's my jam. I like citrus. But anyways, I discovered about a year ago that this distillery actually makes whiskey and bourbon. So of course I did the natural thing and I drove like 100 miles an hour over to the distillery and grabbed a bottle of their Flying Buffalo bourbon, which is actually as old as the distillery is itself. This is their Flying Buffalo. It's a small batch bourbon, 10-year-old bottled in bond, so it's 100 proof. And it's actually a 4-grain bourbon. So it's made from corn, rye, barley, and then they actually use midnight wheat in the mash bill. Super good presentation here. I mean, this not only is this just a pretty bottle, but this is like a substantial bottle. Like, I mean, if any of you have ever held like an IW Harper, like this thing could be used to like bludgeon somebody over the head and do a reasonably good job about it. But Griffin Claw has been around since 2013, and they operate out of both their Birmingham and Royal Oak locations. But I believe all their distillation is done at the Birmingham location. That's the one where I went to. That's the one that I got this bottle at. But they were established in 2013, founded by Bonnie LePage and Mary Nicholson. And they started out as primarily just a beer distillery, but they also, from what I gathered online, invested in the equipment necessary to move into other areas of distillation. So they gave themselves room to grow, which is smart. And from any business perspective, it's forward thinking and definitely has yielded some decent results, it sounds like. They make a lot of craft beers. They make, obviously, the Flying Buffalo bourbon. They actually have a Mr. Blue Sky whiskey, it's only 80 proof, but I believe it's like 5 years old or 4 years old. But they actually use the leftover mash or no, not the leftover mash. What am I saying? They use the actual beer, Mr. Blue Sky, and then distill that into whiskey and redistill it up to 80 proof. And, it's got those coriander, grapefruit notes that are really good. I don't have a bottle of it, but I have tried it. They've got a blue corn whiskey, which is 111 proof that I've never tried, but I really, really want to try it, especially with all the popularity bottles like Smoke Eye Hill and a lot of these other distillers have had with blue corn. I really, really want to try this one. They've got their Railcar Rye, which I believe is another 100 proofer. They have a barrel strength American whiskey that I would really like to take a look at. From what I've heard, that one's like 130, 135 proof, so pretty good. But they're a really accomplished distillery. They won a gold medal from the World Expo of Beer back in 2019 for their El Rojo, which is it's a red ale. But yeah, this one, I think this set me back like $80 from what I remember. Just a really cool story, really cool bottle. For anybody who cares, 10 years old, urban crafted, DSP MI 20013. And I do really enjoy the transparency on the side of the bottle here. So they specifically tell you the barrel was distilled on October 12th, 2013, and the barrel was bottled on October 30th, 2023. So this is just a couple of weeks over that 10-year mark. And I love this bottle. This bottle is fantastic. There's some Latin on here. I don't know what any of it means, but you got Peninsulam, C. Queris, Circumspice, and Amoenum. No idea. No idea what any of that is. But they're a really, really cool craft whiskey brand that I wanted to do a formal review on and take a look at. So let's go ahead and get the palate all cleaned up. Okay. And use our stemmed tasting glass because we are very classy here on the channel. Not really. It's just a little bit easier for you guys to watch. Okay. Well, a little bit of a spill there. All right, and I can already smell like that there's some rye notes, some citrus, like just from here to the glass. But yeah. Okay, so there's right away, there's a multiple different citrus fruits here. There's orange and lemon that are just like jumping out of the glass at me. And then like a caramel, a little bit of a honey note. That's a honey note. But it smells really, really rich. And like on the inside of the glass here, like this is super duper viscous. Definitely the hallmark of an older whiskey. So this is probably going to coat really, really, really well. But it's got a great golden honey color to it that is awesome. God, I could live in the nose of this glass. Like it smells fantastic. If anybody at Griffin Claw is watching this, if you guys have any way of like finding the smell of this and putting it into a candle, like we could just lop off the top of this and make candles, and I think that would be phenomenal. Oh, there's a little bit of oak in there too, but this just, the citrus and honey just jumps out. Really, really, really complex nose. I could sit here and pick this apart for a long time, but in the interest of the review, I'm not going to do that to you guys. All right, cheers. Going for that first pour. Sip, that first sip. It's definitely the weekend. Honey up front. The mid palate, grilled pineapple. It's got like that, almost that like drying effect that like juicy citrus has. A little bit of like that acidy kind of character to it. And then on the back, it's just honey sweetness. There's a little bit of vanilla kind of throughout, but the citrus and the honey, like those are the real showstoppers here. And then that grilled pineapple that is there from not at the front of the palate, but the mid palate and back, and kind of lingers. It is crazy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is just really pleasant, really easy sipper. It doesn't punch you in the face with flavor. It's complex enough that it kind of makes me want to keep diving into it to see what else I can pull out. And that pineapple-y citrus note that finishes with like, it's like if you took a pineapple ring and sliced it off, right? And then you drizzled it with honey and then you grilled it. That's like what I imagine this is tasting like. The lemon on the nose, the orange rind on the nose translates very, very well into the palate. The finish has those same citrus notes throughout. It is just a beautifully crafted whiskey. This actually makes me very curious to see what else they're putting out, and to see if I can get another bottle of this. Because this one actually I purchased back in January of 2024, so about a year ago. I've been meaning to get around to doing a review of this, and I always kind of forget it's there because it's spot on the shelf is behind a few other bottles. But this is it's really good. The product, the presentation, their tasting room is absolutely fantastic. If you guys are anywhere near Birmingham, Michigan, I highly, highly recommend you stop in, get some food. They do have a full kitchen there. It's just a beauty. It is so good. And this is one of the reasons why I kind of try to plug smaller craft distilleries, because I know they don't have too much in the way of distribution outside of their local footprint. I know you can kind of like get it delivered by like Uber Eats here in Michigan, but it's only within so many miles of their distillery. Like I could probably drive there in 30 minutes. And I'm too far outside of their range, as far as I know, to get this delivered. But I would hands down make the trip to go get another bottle of this. So if I had to give this a score, just based on the product, the presentation, the price point, the characteristic, I mean, I know that I'm paying less than $10 a year for this. I know this is an exceptionally well-crafted whiskey. The flavor is there, the nose is there, the finish is there, the complexity. I could pick this. This was probably maybe 1.5 ounce pour, and I could probably sit here for the next hour, just enjoying it and trying to pick it apart and pull the nuances out. I'm interested to see what a drop of water might do to it, but I don't have my water dropper right here. But giving it a score off the top of my head, 8.2. 8.2. This is beautiful. This is actually better than I remember it being the last time I got into it. I have given a couple of samples of this, but this is exceptional. This is really, really good. And it's something that I highly, highly recommend taking a look at. I think it would provide a significantly better drinking experience than a lot of legacy distilleries are offering right now, or some of these allocated bottles. I know we just came out of allocation season, and now we're kind of into the lull where it's, maybe the allocated stuff isn't coming around as much. And I don't know what the availability of this is anymore. I know when I was there a year ago, they had plenty of it, but that was a year ago. So, yeah, cannot say enough good things about this. If there was a knock against it, I'd love to see what this is at barrel strength. I would love to see how much these flavors dial up with another 20 or 30 proof points or whatever it comes out. Maybe it comes out of the barrel close to 100 proof. I don't know. Maybe that's what it comes out at. I honestly have no idea. I would love to find out, what its entry proof is, what it comes out of the barrel at. I mean, I know bottled and bond, it has to be that 100 proof mark, which is totally fine with me. I'm cool with it. I love the packaging. Obviously, I've said that like 4 times, but I really do. I enjoy this bottle a lot. But 8.2, definitely get you one of these if you can. If you cannot, maybe find a friend in Michigan that could get one for you and mule it. Obviously not condoning anything illegal, but I definitely think that this is good whiskey, and I'm always a fan of drinking good whiskey. So you should do that. On another note, for any of you who have been following the Instagram channel as well as our YouTube, I was on the Kang Collects podcast last week, which super cool moment for me. Got to talk with Kang, got to talk about collecting whiskeys and such a little bit. And then I actually, a couple days later, was mentioned on 97.1 The Ticket, which is my favorite radio station in the area. So I am still kind of riding high off of that. But yeah, just exciting stuff going on. It's the beginning of 2025. I got a really cool project that I'm pitching tomorrow that will hopefully lead to a full distillery tour. Some more on that, to come. But just keep an eye on the channel, guys. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell notification so anytime a new video drops, you guys get notified of it. Throw me a like, drop a comment down below. Let me know if you like the video, if you like me, if you don't like me. If you ever had this bottle, I'm interested to know what your thoughts are on it. But until next time, guys, thanks for stopping by, and cheers.